On March 30th, 2023, Donald Trump was indicted by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony criminal charges of falsifying business records. The hush money he gave to Stormy Daniels is also part of them. Donald Trump is now trying to portray himself as a political victim. The problem is that his campaign may be benefited from the investigation, especially as Ron DeSantis, his strongest potential Republican rival, is not utilizing the situation that well. In fact, his approval rating soars after the indictments. At the same time, there are many other accusations made by both politicians and investigators against him. Perhaps the most important one among them would be his family's business connection to foreign countries, including China, Russia, and several Arab countries. No one criticizes a business person's attempt to make more profit by building a working partnership with foreign companies and governments. Donald Trump was, however, the US president for 4 years. The most famous case against Donald Trump's supposed independence from foreign influence is his tie to Vladimir Putin. First, he visited Moscow, often as a business person as well as a celebrity. This is the reason Christopher Steele, a former British MI6 intelligence officer, argued that the Russian government has a video of Donald Trump engaging in compromising sexual acts with prostitutes at one of the hotels in Moscow during his visit to Russia in 2013 for the Miss Universe pageant. It is true that Christopher Steele's claim is highly controversial, as it was funded by multiple political organizations, including the Democratic National Committee and the campaign of Hillary Clinton. Nevertheless, there is little doubt that the Russian government systematically interfered in the 2016 US presidential election. The Internet Research Agency, a Russian organization funded by a Russian businessperson who is extremely close to Putin, spread numerous fake news on social media. Then, Russian hackers, who are perceived to be part of Russia's military intelligence agency, had conducted cyber espionage operations against the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign from 2015 to 2016. The hackers stole thousands of sensitive emails and documents and leaked through multiple online platforms such as WikiLeaks and DC Leaks. Such a story was first revealed by CrowdStrike, a cybersecurity firm, and later confirmed by the US intelligence community. Although the revelation of Hillary Clinton's use of her private email server was not the result of these leaks, the Democratic Party was considerably wounded by the attacks. Furthermore, multiple Russian media outlets, including RT and Sputnik, which are sponsored by the Russian government, have continuously supported Trump while discrediting Clinton. Steele stressed that the Russian government helped Donald Trump to receive crucial information about the Russian oligarchs living in America. Not so surprisingly, both Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have constantly denied this claim. However, the real problem is that this is only the beginning of a very long and critical story. Everybody knows that Ivanka Trump, one of Donald Trump's daughters, played a vital role during her father's presidency as a senior advisor. For starters, her ownership of her eponymous fashion brand, Ivanka Trump Collection, caused many unnecessary controversies as she was deeply engaging in America's foreign policies. When she was working at the White House, the Chinese government gave trademark approvals to Ivanka Trump Collection. Many people say it was just a coincidence. Nevertheless, it is important to remember that Donald Trump was at a costly trade war with China throughout his entire presidency. It was China who wanted to stop the war. Ivanka Trump was the one who stepped in for her father at a G20 summit meeting in 2017. Anyone can raise his or her eyebrow on this matter. Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump's husband, also served as a senior advisor at the White House. His father, Charles Kushner, was a prominent real estate developer just like Donald Trump. Although Charles's parents managed to survive from the Holocaust, he built Kushner companies through his strong will and moral flexibility. Ironically, he was found guilty of making illegal campaign contributions to the politicians from the Democratic Party. He was also charged with tax evasion. However, this is the real part. Charles Kushner had a brother-in-law, William Shoulder. With all those legal fiascos, Charles started to believe that William Shoulder was secretly cooperating with the investigators. He, therefore, hired a prostitute to seduce him, recorded their encounter, and sent the tape to William's sister, Esther Shoulder. Charles was eventually charged with witness tampering and obstruction of justice. In December 2020, however, Donald Trump granted a full pardon to Charles. Donald Trump's attempt to obliterate America's constitutional order is no longer surprising. Nevertheless, it seems that Jared Kushner is not so much different from his father. The Kushner family purchased 666 Fifth Avenue, a 41-story office building in New York City, in 2007 for $1.8 billion. The problem was that this heavily leveraged investment was struggling because of high vacancy rates. When Jared Kushner was serving at the White House, several Chinese and Qatari firms refinanced the project. They may have done so simply because of the attractiveness of the property. Many people, however, raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest. There is evidence supporting this claim. Nicole Kushner Mayer, Jared Kushner's sister, mentioned her brother's significant role in the Trump administration during her presentation advertising the building to Chinese investors. Those foreign investors agreed to invest in the building were granted permanent residency in the US. His connection to foreign countries never stopped even after the end of Donald Trump's presidency. One day after Trump left the White House, Kushner launched Affinity Partners, his own investment firm. 6 months later, the Saudi government invested $2 billion in the company. It is no secret that Jared Kushner maintains a very close relationship with Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. This was why the Trump administration did not respond to the murder of Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Donald Trump could garner enormous support primarily because of his aggressive foreign policies. He renegotiated NAFTA, withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal and the Paris Agreement, moved the US embassy to Jerusalem, and imposed severe sanctions on China. However, he and his family have never been free from foreign influence because of their desire to hold both power and money. Trump will not prioritize America's interest over his personal gain. Trump must be gone out of politics.